I was a teenage mom. I worked hard, built a good life, and still carry shame and loneliness that no one talks about. I had my daughter at 18 while I was still in high school. By the time I realized I was pregnant, it was too late to consider an abortion. I remember sitting with my guidance counselor during senior year course selection and hearing her say, "Well, now that college is off the table, let's look at other options." I was devastated. In that moment, it felt like the world had already decided who I would be. At first, I seriously considered adoption. It seemed like the best option. But everything changed when I went to my first ultrasound. I saw her. I fell in love. And I realized that once I handed her over, I would have no control over her life. She could end up in a home that was worse than the one I could provide. My life was far from perfect, but I knew I would move mountains to give her the best I could. From that moment on, my goal wasn't just to raise a child. It was to make sure that my decision to have her wouldn't limit her opportunities. She didn't choose to be born to a teenage mother, and I never wanted her to suffer for my choices. Her father was gone almost immediately. We were just kids, and he wasn't ready. Not long after she was born, I started dating the man who would become my husband. He adopted her. He has always been her dad. We've been together for 18 years now. I worked relentlessly. Sometimes I held down 3 jobs just to stay afloat. I put myself through college, then earned my master's degree, and eventually a PhD. I focused on education because I believed it was my way forward. And yes, part of me wanted to prove that guidance counselor wrong. College was never off the table. Today, we are stable and doing well. My daughter is an adult. She is bright, kind, and thriving. She is heading to an amazing college in the fall, and still, I carry a deep, quiet sadness that I've never really shared before. No one talks about the loneliness. Or the shame that follows you, even when you've done everything right. I am 36 now. When I mention I have an 18-year-old daughter, I see the math happening in people's eyes. I feel the judgment land. It stings every time. It makes me retreat. And over the years, it has made me feel deeply, profoundly alone. I don't fit in anywhere. I can't relate to women my age who are just now having toddlers or starting kindergarten drop-offs. I've already been through that. But I also don't fully belong with older moms, because they treat me like a younger sister rather than a peer. I missed out on the normal college experience. No dorms, no parties, no careless 20-something years. I was changing diapers while everyone else was finding themselves. I don't regret my choices, but I do feel like I missed something I can't get back. When people swap stories about their pregnancies or baby showers, I stay quiet. I never had one. I thought, who would want to celebrate this? Teenage moms don't get baby showers. We get whispered about. When my daughter was in school, the other moms would comment on my age. I always feared they held it against her, and to this day I worry she's embarrassed by me. Maybe she hesitates to introduce me to people because we look like sisters. Maybe she hides our story to avoid the questions. I know I am lucky. I know many teenage mothers never get the chance to build the life I have. But even with that success, even with love and security, I still carry this persistent sense of shame. And it's exhausting. This part of teen motherhood rarely gets talked about. It doesn't make it into the headlines or the awareness campaigns. But it's real. It's heavy. And sometimes, it hurts more than anything else. Thank you for listening.